Sure. I mean, you've got so much experience. I mean, from 5 years old being able to weld, that's a lot of experience you've got to carry. And I think it's amazing you're actually showing this to the younger generation so they can carry on the builds. Because we had a lot of people saying to us, oh, this, the car game is over. It's not going to happen anymore. And the people who were saying about the environment are stopping it. And I'm like, you got it all wrong, actually, because I remember, what was it, back 2001 when, was it 2001? No, maybe 2003. Between 2003 and 2005, they were saying that the car culture is over. The whole tuning scene is going to be, crushed because of like the Fast and Furious took over too much and all the different graphics and wide body kits. And I was just like, I didn't believe it. I just thought it's just a phase. It's like fashion; it goes round. Things change, and the car industry
We
just
have to adapt.
Exactly, and all it's doing now is evolving. I don't believe we're going to see the huge transition like the horse and carriage to the Ford Model T back in the day. I think you're just going to see an evolution of how the car is going to be. We are
I
going to
think
go.
you're going to see so many electric hot rods and so many electric this and that when it becomes more popular. As it grows, it's going to grow right into the industry, and hot rod shops are either going to have to realize either you grow with it or become a dinosaur.
100%, and I agree, because that's what's going to happen. The ones who are going to be winning are the ones who are going to adapt that technology. And there's some cool people that we saw at SEMA last year. We weren't there personally, but we saw that a few people had embraced full-on electrical transition from a petrol engine. And there's even a company now selling almost like a crate motor in a box, but it's all the electrical components that you can buy and turn your classic into electric. I mean, in England right now, there's loads of companies we've seen emerging who are doing classic 1970s Rolls-Royce, all electric, Range Rovers, all electric from the 60s. And I think that is awesome, even though, yes, you don't hear the engine, the V8 roar, whatever, but I think you can actually still drive these, and they're more economical, better for the environment. I get it. I still like the sound of an engine, but I'm not going, oh, this is going to suck and I'm not going to embrace it. We're continuing and embracing it more than ever, because the hobbyist market of building, it'll still be there. It'll still be there.
Well, I mean, I'll still always have that thing in me that loves that V8 rumble. But if you've ever gotten one of those Tesla S's with the 3 engines in it and somebody's freaking stomped it down, and you can't deny the power that thing has, I'd love that in about any hot rod.
You're right. When you think of that, we drove a Tesla Model S in LA actually 3 years ago, and it was with Unplugged Performance, who do the customized body kits for the Tesla. And the guy said, just take the keys, have a little drive around, do what you need to do. And we've got a vlog that we're going to put out on this very, very soon. And it was just the instant power was phenomenal. When I think about it now, you literally could transition to electric on any car right now, and you could take out a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, because the power's instant. There's no lag from a turbo or supercharger or anything like that, and you literally got it instant. So I almost think to myself, supercars are going to probably be a thing of the past when you think of the speed.
Here's the problem, though. They're great in a straight line. Try and take a Tesla through a corner, you're not going to be able to hit it at all. Too much weight with the batteries. So until battery technology catches up, you're never going to see them in the performance world. You'll see them in the drag race world. You might see them in the top speed world, but the weight of those batteries is too much.
I get it.
Because I don't even know if I've told you, I'm in development of making my own automotive car, like manufacturing my own car.
Nice.
So, and it's something I've dreamed of for years, and like we're actually finally coming to fruition with it. But I want to have a gas version because it's a 2-seater. I'll kind of give you a little rundown of it. A lot of the parts are used right off your automotive parts shelves.
Cool.
It has geometric brakes. It's just the mindset that the way AMC did right before they ended, when they almost saved themselves by using parts from other manufacturers, doing the same thing but using aftermarket companies. And we've been looking at the weight differences if we go electric, because we're looking at using a Tesla drivetrain in our cars. And the weight of the batteries is the big part. My gas version with an LS, the car only weighs 1,800 pounds. But the electric version with the batteries, it's almost touching like, I think it's 27.
Wow. Yeah, I get it.
So it's like, that's the thing they're going to have to overcome eventually.
Sure. No, it makes a lot of sense. And I think it will. I mean, it always has done. We've evolved in the car so many times, making components lighter and everything like that and more effective. So it's coming. But I just like the fact that it's happening, and the car game isn't over. You're just going to see an evolution of it, and we're going to be there to embrace it. Because at Superfly, we do the old school, we do the retro classics, but we also have a second chapter called Chapter 2050, where we're embracing the new technology, and we're trying to show people that stick with it, stay with the old stuff, but stick with the new, because it's going to end up merging more and more. And last year proved it at SEMA. Look forward, if we can be at SEMA this year, to actually see what else has been done out there, because it's exciting. I mean, one of the things I would love to see, which I think Mercedes did with one of their concepts, was it the EQS? I can't remember, but I think it was the one that they did like a collaboration with Avatar the movie. They based the
I
design of
know
the
which
movie.
one you're talking about.
And I think they ingested like the sound of like futuristic sound as the car accelerates, a bit like a sci-fi movie where you see the spaceship or the car driving. And I'm like, do you know what? That's so cool, because it's not the V8 sound, for example, but you think, oh man, all those sci-fi movies I used to watch and whatnot. Now we're almost going to have that feel when we're in a car, and that's dope. I think that's
I got to see that car in person. They have a Jetson sound for it.
so cool. The
You remember when
Jetsons,
George Jetson, like the
that's what I mean. The Jetsons, I mean, that's a wicked cartoon. I used to love watching that. And we used to think back then we'd have flying cars by now. It's not quite there yet, but you have that sound, which is really cool. So I think eventually more and more people will warm to that idea. And I feel the younger generation will get more involved in cars. And I think
What
if
I
there's
loved
guys,
is when I went to the show with you out in the UK. You know what I mean? And you were showing me like the differences of what you guys do out there. It was so cool to see how it is over here. I honestly think more car guys, like, we need to like somehow meld the two and let them introduce themselves to each other, because there's so much cool shit happening on one side of the pond that they're not doing over here, but they got so much cool stuff going over here. And it's almost like if you combined what was happening, like, you could have some cars that would just blow your absolute mind.
yes,
And
yeah, sorry.
some of those builders you introduced me to, like, one of the guys was 25, and he did all the work himself. And I was like, dude, like, 25? Like, I'm 38 and I'm doing this shit, but I've had a lot more years experience. I'm like, 25? I'm like, shit, you were way beyond where I was at.
Mm.